they restock your trailer yet?
No.
No? Huh. Mine was fully stocked.
Unbelievable. Who do I speak about this?
Well, our Duff contract ended.
Oh!
So, yeah. Well,
Thanks, buddy.
Are you shitting me?
That's good beer.
Was.
May have backwashed a little bit in that too. Oh, this is the life, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's after hours. Pretty much anything goes.
Yeah. You know, I look back at...
I like how he always tries to segue.
I look back at all the people I've lost along the way. But you know, my career as a tour guide probably wasn't a good idea.
Was that when you were a bus driver?
Bus driver. My wife called me this morning. Said she saw a fox on the way to work. How do you know it was on the way to work? Here we go. Ready?
Yes.
Light talk. Let's talk. Let's talk color.
Let's talk color.
Let's talk color.
Something very important, but sometimes, you know, there's an art to the design process and moving the fixtures around in proper placement to ensure that it's a little bit different than just installing classic white lights.
Correct. Color adds a whole new dimension that classic white does not, generally speaking. So one of the things that you want to be aware of as an end user and making sure that your design is the way you ultimately want, even when you're using color on holidays and those times of year.
So to your point, we need more beer.
I got a ton in my trailer.
So, but to your point, architectural features of a house matter when it comes to placement.
They do. And really it's a matter of preference. So there is no such thing as a perfect design, a right design.
That's right.
It's all a matter of preference,
Sure.
right? So we have our preference here at Haven that we do. It doesn't mean that that it's right for everybody. So we don't want to
No, that's right.
act like that we are the end all of color lighting design.
Sure, but it's just something to pay attention to. The architectural feature of the home is the same, and lights are side by side next to each other. At the top, you could potentially see mixing of two colors.
You're going to get mixing.
Yes.
Hey, did you know where I first learned about color mixing?
No.
Kindergarten. Second time around. We made these two circles. Color one blue, one yellow. Changed my life. In the middle, they overlapped. Green.
There you go.
Green.
And here we are today.
Blew my mind.
Blew your mind. Here we are today. But
anyway,
yeah,
mixing.
Right. Mixing.
Top of the structure, or really, if the lights are close enough, you can get it pretty early up the wall. So, you know, in some cases with white, and when they're all white, you don't care.
notice. That's right.
But when it comes to color, and if you're making a red and green scene for Christmas, and if you don't use the architectural features of the home to separate that light for you, then you can get some mixing and red and green becomes yellow.
Sure, that's right. Yep. So that's what we're all about. We want to educate the consumer and the installer. So on the consumer end of things, know what you're getting, know what your installer is setting up for you.
Yep.
You know, and know what to pay attention to, and knowing a good installer between a bad installer.
And even after the case, I mean, listen, this stuff is fairly easy to fix. You can move lights around after the fact as long as you've installed them with slack.
That's right. Nothing's permanent.
So even if after the fact, one thing, you know, we've seen projects to where, you know, people are saying, hey, this is an RGBW system or whatever, and there's no pictures of color, which may be fine. You know, the installation may be done and you may love it in white and say, great job, and pay the invoice and be done, and you haven't seen it in color yet. You don't know if there's mixing problems. So make sure that you've seen it in color.
Test all the colors, test the zoning.
Make sure you've done red and green that you're going to do for Christmas, or red, white, and blue like we have back here. Just make sure that you've got the seeds that you're going to want to use to make sure that if there is color mixing, you're okay with it.
Yep.
And if you don't want color mixing, that it doesn't mix.
Yep, that's right. So hopefully this helps. I mean, we are a guide for people's journey.
Luckily, you haven't lost anybody.
I know. I think after this episode, we've lost several.
My mom's still there.
She's still here. But as always, havenlighting.com.
YouTube, the TikTok, the Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
It's X.
I can't. Nobody knows what X is.
You were doing so well.
All I think about is X series when I say X, you know?